Amazon rainforest, located in South America, is the biggest forest in the world. This vast jungle covers an area as big as 2/3 of the United States and is still full of mystery unknown to mankind. But together with this mystery also comes a reputation. Frogs, snakes, spiders. Even drinking this water over there is extremely harmful. And this is why Amazon rainforest is one of the most hostile places to a newcomer. But here we are, and for the next week we're gonna stay here in the middle of the jungle. Luckily we have Adriano with us, a local guide who's been working in different parts of the Amazon for the last 27 years. So he knows this place almost like the back of his hand, and he's gonna be showing and teaching us more about the world's most biodiverse yet dangerous forest. Our journey to the Amazon took place in the end of April, heart of flooding season. For us it meant that we could drive our boat through the forest and get to our destination faster. But for the locals it means half a year of living on the water and only being able to move with a boat. And the only thing for them to do is to fish and to wait for the 7 meters of flood water to once again disappear and reveal their fields that usually lay on the riverbanks. We've made it to our home for the next week. Our home was located in the heart of the jungle. Like every other building in the area, the whole complex was built on wooden legs. There was no big luxury, a shower with river water, and for us, a small corner with a bed and mosquito net. Oh, and we got their toilet. Oh, it even has a mirror, but of course it's not made for anyone my size. Once settled in, there was no time to waste, and everybody had to find themselves shoes for the next week.
Wow.
We didn't have to wait long to put our new rubber boots to the test and get the first glance of how the next week was gonna look like. Ants are really taking advantage of the dry weather, and you can see whole trees being moved on their small ant highways. The red ones are army ants, and they're known to create structures out of themselves. So if they need to build a bridge, then a lot of the ants just take up a role of being a bridge. This plant here is really known. This here is ayahuasca. Down there is a nest of buffalo ants. The really cool thing is that Aboriginal tribes have been using tear venom mixed together with frogs to poison their hunting darts. But what makes it even more amazing is that the same substances nowadays used in medical sciences in the operating rooms as muscle relaxers. And so, bit by bit, we learned about the local ways. And yes, we also found out how to find food. And for many tribes here in the Amazon, zuri is one of the most common foods because you just need the palm trees and they make soups out of them. So they collect the fruit, open them up, and then mix it together with everything else they can find.
Actually, yeah. Had the texture and everything.
Fine.
Coconut. Coconut. Yeah, right?
Arasa. It is extremely sour, but not in a bad way. It's like this piney or waxy aftertaste. If you know how and what to use, then the whole forest is full of things that you can build out of. And most of the roofs of the buildings here are made of the leaves of the same palm tree here. Does it keep the mosquitoes away as well? And everywhere is just full of mosquitoes. They're trying to eat the saliva. It's the only thing that is really bugging me. I am so happy for those palm trees and the roofs that are made out of them. Yesterday evening I had my thickest socks on, but it seems that the mosquitoes didn't care at all. My ankles are on fire, they're itching so badly. They just bite through the sock without any problem. I'm not sure how to manage this.
The morning routine has started. You put on repellent and then you put on repellent again in 10 minutes, and that's gonna be your routine for the rest of the week.
Second part of the morning routine looks a little like this. Since the boots have been outside the whole night, there can be all kind of wildlife in here, so you better clean them up before putting them on. And then it was time for another adventure, because well, our lunch was not gonna catch itself. We just turned in from the main river and now we're pretty much on the flooded forest floor. The whole canopy is just full of movement. There's capuchins, squirrel monkeys. There are different types of them all around. And no, we were not going to have monkeys for lunch. It's really deep in here.
It's meters deep.
The bite we're gonna use for fishing is chicken. We're using the same technique for fishing that the indigenous people here have been using for thousands of years, and they're making the noise of a dying animal with a stick. And this is supposed to lure in someone. My bait is gone, but my hook is empty. That's not called fishing, that's called feeding fish.
Hello fish.
Your hook is like... Well, there's definitely piranhas in here. Just little swords.
Yeah.
And now we actually get to taste what we caught. You can even eat it with the bones, it doesn't bother you. It tastes kind of similar as just a white fish. They are really small though, so there's not a lot of meat. So now that we have made sure that there are piranhas, and the piranhas were definitely not the only ones living in the murky water.
Like a dolphin.
By now we've seen about 5 Amazon river dolphins just coming up for 1 second. They breathe and they go back down. But it's a really beautiful sight to see the dolphins here. And with a symphony of frogs we are sailing or boating into the night, and we're hoping to see some nocturnal animals tonight, so We'll see what's gonna come out of it. These lily pads are like 1.5 meters in size, and we just found 2 caiman babies on them. I think we're gonna get a chance to see them as well. Oh, wow. I have to say that nightly adventures were probably the most memorable for us. We saw many unusual creatures in their natural habitat, like my hand, and I have big hands, and realized that this forest is like a metropolitan city for the animals. It never sleeps. And I will forever remember the long conversations about jungle's health and conservation that took place under the Peruvian sky. Honestly, even waking up early was not a problem when you knew that there was so much to discover.
Morning adventure.
By the end of the week in here, our whole perception of the jungle had changed. We had gone off the beaten trails, gotten close and personal with the animals. We really immersed ourselves in the local ways, understanding more by the minute how life here is possible. When you're hunting for a sloth, it's good to look as lazy as possible yourself. Unreal that Adriano saw this, I can't believe it. I never knew that close to 80% of the fruits eaten by humans originate from the rainforests. It tastes a little bit like jackfruit or durian. It really does. From Asia. I'm surprised, but it's more sweeter and doesn't smell that bad. Cacao family, and they all make big eyes because I actually like it. And in only just a week realized that for the one who knows how to see like a local, everything in here is in abundance.
It's a pea. Yeah.
As we were leaving the place that now felt like home, I couldn't help but feel amazed. When I first arrived here, I remember being scared, looking for danger around every corner. But in only just a week, it has all changed. And now what remains is just curiosity. This forest here is not only responsible for many advances in scientific world, but also takes care of the weather all over the world, creating clouds and putting moisture in the air. And I honestly hope that we, humans as species, start protecting it even more before it's too late, before we have made unreversible changes in the name of financial gain and fear. It is so awesome that you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and just before we finish for the day, I just wanted to say thank you to Adriano one more time, our guide. And if you, my friends, are planning a similar adventure to the Amazon rainforest, then I'm gonna leave the contact of Adriano down in the description below, because I honestly got no bad words for him. And lastly, if you're new on the channel, here are some amazing adventure from the past few months of our lives. Enjoy. See you next Thursday, guys. Bye.